channel. I don't know if anybody's actually going to watch my videos, but I want to do this to help people, because I know whenever I first got my anxiety, I didn't really have much to watch except for useless information on the internet that only made my anxiety more worse than it did any good. So with that being said, I was diagnosed with panic disorder. I have chronic anxiety with PTSD and panic attacks. After several years, 10 to be exact, of dealing with that, I have developed a strong depression. It's really hard. I first got diagnosed with slight anxiety when I was 16 years old. I was diagnosed with a mitral valve prolapse, which is one of the valves in my heart did not flow right. It didn't pump the blood out of my heart correctly. They told me by the age of 40 that mitral valve symptoms are the same as a heart attack, so I would never be able to tell on which one I was having. Kind of scared me. I mean, I'm 16 years old. That's a lot of news to tell somebody at that age. So I developed a slight case of anxiety. You know, it was mostly manageable, but I would have the occasional panic attacks to where, well, it was more of a breathing attack. Like, I would have to breathe into a brown paper bag, and then I would catch my breath and I'd be okay. But I was independent. I lived my life to the fullest. Didn't depend on anybody. I did everything on my own. I was outgoing, always in the gym, always exercising. Like, I was fit. It was like a religion to me. It was something that I always did. And then 10 years ago, when I was 25 years old, you know, seemed like a normal day. Going on a job interview, been stressing all day, and halfway to the job interview, started not being able to breathe. My lips started getting really tingly and going numb. I started panicking at this point. I'm like, this is not normal. This is not how I normally act. I don't know if anybody else feels that way on their first one, but it really freaked me out. Like, to the point to where I started to feel claustrophobic in the car that I was in. So I made my partner pull over. Once I jumped literally out of the car, I couldn't catch my breath. My heart kept feeling like it was going to beat out of my chest, which made me panic even more because I have a heart condition. So I was like, is this how I'm going to die? Like, is this what's going to happen to me? Is this where it's happening? Is today my last day? Like, am I ready to not be here anymore? Who's gonna miss me whenever I'm gone? Like, what legacy did I leave behind? Like, the more I thought about it too, the more the symptoms got worse. My legs started tingling. I felt like I couldn't walk on them. They felt like jelly underneath me, like I just did a strong leg day workout. The breaths just kept getting further and further from me being able to take them. Brown paper bag was not working. There was no calming me down, no talking me down. I just knew I was dying. I had to keep constantly checking my heart rate to make sure that it was beating right, which of course it was not, because it was like way up there with how fast my heart was racing. So needless to say, I ended up in the hospital, to which they pumped me up with Xanax and told me that I had a panic attack and that I needed to seek my doctor whenever I got up the next morning, which is what I did. And they sent me to a therapist, and that's when the therapist told me that it was due to the trauma that I dealt with whenever I was growing up, which kind of was a shocker to me, because I mean, that was something that I survived. Like, I went through hell. I was tortured. I was beaten. You know, I went through something nobody should ever have to go through. Like, your parents were supposed to be the one person who protected you from monsters and loved you and made you feel safe. And although my mom did those things, one of my other parent ended up being the monster that I needed protection from, and I survived it. I fought every single day. I went through it. I survived it. I should not be having to deal with this now. Like, you know what I mean? The anger kicked in then. It's like, I survived that. I'm a survivor. Why do I have to go through this now? Like, this thing was not supposed to conquer me. I conquered it. Now I'm dealing with anxiety because of it. Like, it was bad. It was really, really bad. But, I mean, I think everybody's is like that for them in their own way. You know what I mean? But that'll have to be part 2 of the introduction video, because I don't want to keep you guys too long tonight. But I just want you guys to remember one thing: you are not alone. There are many of us out here who are dealing with this. Some of us worse than others, some of us not, but it doesn't make our situation and what we're going through better than anyone else. You do matter. You do belong here. You are not alone. And you're amazing. Everything about you is amazing. And I want you to just inhale, exhale, and remember to take the day 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 second at a time if you have to. Just know you're a survivor and you will get through this. Until next time. Bye, guys.